as I said to you, the New English Bible said fretting and fussing. I looked up the Greek words. Careful means anxious. Troubled means disturbed. And let's see, what else? I can't even read my writing. In a state of turmoil. And so what I do in my own life is I check myself. I check up on myself. If I find myself getting anxious and fretting and fussing in a state of turmoil, it gives me a little clue that I have let myself slip out of Mary's attitude into Martha's attitude. And I think I need to I've forgotten about Jesus and how He loves me, and I just need to relax and lean on Him a little bit and sit, spiritually speaking, in His presence and hear His Word, and just, like we read in Matthew chapter 11, verse 28, find that rest. He said, come unto me and I'll give you rest. Inwardly, I'm talking about. And I need to recover that. I've let it go. I've forgotten about it. It's easy to forget. It's easy to let things slip. We don't want to let things slip. But notice what Jesus says in verse 42. But one thing is needful. What that means is there's only one thing that's necessary. Now, did you know that in your Christian life there's only one thing that's necessary? There's lots of things that we could talk about, and there's lots of things that are good, there's lots of things that are, we could say, valuable, but there's only one thing that's necessary. And the one thing that's necessary, Jesus said, is the thing that Mary found, which is that relationship with Him, that relationship of intimacy, of dependence, of reliance, of, can I say, spiritually resting in His presence. And again, I want to emphasize the fact that by that I mean not that we don't do anything physically, but inwardly we're at peace, knowing that we're in right relationship with Him. Did you know that if you can understand that you have right relationship with Jesus, and that gives you a confidence. It gives you a confidence in your life, knowing that no matter what happens, He loves you, He's on your side, He's for you. He's not ever going to give up on you. It gives you a sense of confidence. And whatever it is that we do in our lives with that sense of confidence that comes from faith in Him is a good thing. Can I read you, in conclusion, a little quote from Martin Luther? He was talking about that. I was mentioning him before. He was talking about that very fact, that faith gives us confidence. And that whatever we do in faith in our lives, with that confidence on the inside, see, what lets you know if what you're doing is good or not is what's in your heart, is your own heart and your confidence that you have in your own heart. In Martin Luther's day, the big teaching of the church was that you had to do good works, work, and they were all prescribed and all listed. You had to do all these good works to gain God's approval, these meritorious works. And Luther found out that you didn't have to work to get God's approval, but you have God's approval and blessing just because you put your faith in Jesus. Faith in Him is the only thing he was looking for. So, what he was dealing with is, what then do we do? How can we tell if we're doing works that are appropriate as a Christian? So here's what he said. Luther said, now every one of us can note and tell for himself when he does what is good or what is not good. For if he finds his heart confident that it pleases God, then the work is good, even if it were so small a thing as picking up a straw. But if that confidence is absent, if he doubts, then the work is not good, even though he should raise all the dead. And a man should give himself to be burned. In this faith, all works become equal. One is like another. All distinctions between works fall away, whether they be great or small, short or long, few or many. For the work that we do is acceptable, not for its own sake, but because of our faith in Christ, which alone is acceptable. Our faith works and lives in each one of our own works, without distinction, however numerous or various they are, just like all the members of the body live and work and have their name from the head. From which it follows that a Christian who lives in this faith has no need of a teacher of good works, but whatever he finds, he does, and all then is well done. I think that's a good quote. I think that's very aptly said. Let's all stand up this morning.